So you were a prominent activist in SNCC for how long?
I wouldn't say I was prominent.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I was there for 2.5 years,
Mm-hmm.
65, 67. But I wouldn't say I was prominent. You thought prominent because I said I drafted the state.
Well, just I'm kind of seeing the story through your eyes, and I guess that's my reason for saying.
Okay, no, I wouldn't say prominent. I would say regular,
Mm-hmm.
one of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I would say just one
Mm-hmm.
of us, one of the SNCC activists, right?
That is such a powerful piece of personal experience and historical experience.
Well, and other SNCC workers had equally powerful
Mm-hmm.
experiences.
Mm-hmm.
In Mississippi, most of the SNCC workers that I met and worked with in Alabama had already spent a year or two working in Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, if you read Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Touré's autobiography, you would see the wealth of experience and the extraordinary leadership that he had given.
Mm-hmm. And you met him first on that occasion that you mentioned.
In the Selma Church, right,
Mm-hmm.
in Brown Chapel. And
Mm-hmm.
then worked with him in the Lowndes County SNCC staff
Mm-hmm.
for those 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is just a really powerful, important story. Could we move ahead to Detroit?
Absolutely. Well, I came to Detroit in '67. By that time I had married a SNCC worker, Stuart House, and we were pregnant with our son, Uri Stuart House. And I was told, look, if you don't go somewhere where you can eat 3 meals a day, or at least, take care of your nutrition, you're going to risk losing this baby. So we came to Detroit, which is his hometown, thinking, okay, we'll come have the baby and then we'll go back south. But we never went back south. I continued to be an activist here in Detroit, and so did he. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd like to learn more about that. I've been talking with various people about several of those organizations, and I would just like to know more. Yes.
So many. But maybe I can characterize them or categorize them in terms of different kinds of activist work, right? There's been the solidarity work with third world countries, with Angola, Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau, and with Cuba and Nicaragua, and this work has meant travels back and forth to be informed about these struggles, collecting materials, medical supplies for Guinea-Bissau, Angola, doing a lot of educational forums here in the Detroit area around all these struggles. Mm-hmm. So third world solidarity. I've also been involved over the years in the movement to create independent black schools, and was a founder of one of those schools. It was called the Alexander Crummell School at first. The name has been changed to the Aisha Du Bois Academy. I was one of the founders of that school. Mm-hmm. And I've continued to serve on boards and as a volunteer teacher in 3 of the African-centered schools here in our city. Aisha and Insorma Institute and Timbuktu Academy. Mm-hmm. Another area of activism has been around police brutality. I'm a co-founder of the Detroit Coalition Against Police Brutality and worked in that organization for years. I only recently, last year, resigned from work in that organization. Detroit has one of the highest incidences of police brutality in the country. And for a while there we were seeing young men being shot down, being murdered by members of the police force, and at such an alarming rate that we decided we really had to do something about it. And we did. And we were able to win several cases. Families were able to win damages for the loss of their family members. But there's still a great deal of work to be done. And even though the police department is under the eyes now, the federal government has recognized something is wrong there and has got to be done about that. So far, no real changes have happened, but at least we feel that the work of the coalition brought attention to that.
The coalition still exists?
The coalition still exists, yes. But I am no longer a member. Once I accepted the role of director of the African American Studies program, I decided, okay, what can I let go for a while? Because I was getting just overwhelmed with
And what someone mentioned to me recently was the Black Consciousness Library.
Yes, yes.
Maybe you can tell me about that a little bit.
Let's see, what years would that have been? Around maybe the 70s, early 70s. A group of us decided, we were part of the whole Black consciousness movement that was really sweeping the country at the time. And we wanted to create a center within our community where young people, school children and teenagers and college students could come and find materials about Black history, African American history and culture, and the arts and music. And so we did. We organized something called the Black Consciousness Library. And we pooled all of our books, archival materials, set up classes, workshops, forums for students, and anybody in the neighborhood who wanted to come in and use our resources, tutored people, helped with literacy. At one point we weren't able to afford to rent a place, so the library was actually in the basement of our home. So we had people coming and going all the time into the basement using those resources. And it did become the community resource that we wanted it to be. Is that, I don't know who would remember that. Maybe Ish remembered that.
It was actually Ahmed.
Ahmed, oh, okay. Oh, right, because he came as
That's what he said to me.
As a young activist to borrow a film. It was the Battle of Algiers.
Yes.
Did he tell you?
In fact, he mentioned the Battle of Algiers.
Okay.
Now that you
So we had the film, The Battle of Algiers, and we would show the film in the basement and have community people come in and see it and discuss with them what was happening in the Third World.
And I wonder if you could put your finger now on a role that center might have had on kind of building an engaged, politically committed group of people.
Oh, absolutely. The library, as I said, became the center and also a meeting place for other activists. In fact, it's very closely allied with I'm trying to remember the name of the paper that was published in conjunction with the League of Revolutionary Black Workers, Inner City Voice, I think it was. Many of the people who worked in the Black Consciousness or volunteered in the Black Consciousness Library also helped to produce that paper, which, as you know, had to do with the radicalization of Black workers in the plants. I'm sure you know something about that history, right? So there was this sort of networking and spillover and involvement among activists doing a lot of different things.